Hello, I'm Rajiv Upal, Chief Information Officer at CMS. And I'm Aaron Allen, CMS Section 508 Coordinator. We're here to explain Section 508 and why it is so important for all of us at CMS. Section 508 is a government regulation. In 1986, Section 508 was added to the Rehabilitation Act of 1973, and this requires federal agencies like CMS to make their information and communication technology accessible to people with disabilities. This means, as CMS employees, we must give our coworkers with disabilities, in addition to members of the general public with disabilities, comparable access to the electronic materials we produce and distribute. As part of our ongoing effort to provide the best customer service to everyone here at CMS, we want to be sure that all of our beneficiaries and coworkers can access the information they need. To help us accomplish this goal, the CMS Section 508 program team has developed a series of videos to give you more details about how to create documents, software, and other materials that are Section 508 compliant and accessible to anyone. Aaron and I thank you for accessing this video series to learn more about Section 508 and what this means to all of us at CMS. Why is Section 508 important? There are more than 56 million people in the U.S. with a disability, and this number is growing. The 5 major types of disabilities are vision, including blindness, low vision, and color blindness; hearing, people who are deaf or hard of hearing; motor, where someone may be paralyzed or not have the use of certain limbs; speech, people who are not able to speak or who have a speech impediment; and cognitive, including people who have dyslexia, autism, or ADHD. By the very nature of Medicare and Medicaid programs, many CMS customers have some of these health impairments that challenge their abilities to access information, often when they need it the most. Some CMS employees have disabilities too, and they should be able to access information and materials vital to their work. And we should always remember that compliance with Section 508 is a federal law, and if any employee or any member of the general public cannot access the material they need, this could result in frustration, complaints, and even legal action against CMS. What services are provided by the CMS Section 508 program team? Our services include providing resources for Section 508 education and awareness, conducting systems and application testing, offering Section 508 guidance on procurements, delivering resources to the CMS Section 508 clearance officers, and consulting stakeholders on Section 508 related issues. As an employee, what should you do for Section 508 compliance? Anyone new to the agency is informed about CMS Section 508 during orientation, and every year, all CMS employees are required to participate in annual training. Many of us at CMS work with Word or Excel documents and PowerPoint presentations, but you may not be aware that when you create these documents, they should always be Section 508 compliant. For these Microsoft Office applications, there are built-in tools you can use to determine if your materials are compliant and that provide instructions on how to fix errors. Every component has a designated Section 508 clearance officer who can review materials before they are distributed. Your component's clearance officer can inform you of any compliance issues, and should any remediation be required, your clearance officers can provide guidance on how to address them. Employees can visit the Section 508 section on cms.gov to find remediation resources, and the Tech Central office here at CMS headquarters is ready to assist you with hands-on knowledge. The CMS Section 508 program team is also available to answer questions. You can email us at section_508@cms.hhs.gov. As a manager, what can you do? Be sure your team members know about 508 compliance and what they should do to ensure adequate customer service to coworkers and constituents. Encourage your staff to seek out and use CMS Section 508 resources and training materials. And if you are the business owner of a project, keep in mind that systems, applications, or other programs you create for CMS must be Section 508 compliant. As a contractor, what should you do? Contractors and other vendors utilized by business owners are required to prove their awareness, knowledge, and ability to adhere to CMS Section 508 standards and testing. For software applications, this ability is acknowledged through the Voluntary Product Accessibility Template, or VPAT. The VPAT is a document that verifies Section 508 standards, and this should be completed for new applications developed for CMS as well as for commercial off-the-shelf products. We have more details about the VPAT in additional videos in this series and in other resources. Let's summarize the basics of CMS Section 508. Section 508 requires federal agencies like CMS to make electronic documents and other materials available to coworkers and to the general public who may have accessibility-related issues. Compliance with Section 508 is the law. Non-compliance could result in frustration, complaints, or legal action. There are simple methods for employees to check and achieve 508 compliance with Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint materials. Every component has a designated 508 clearance officer, and materials should be reviewed by these clearance officers before they are distributed. For systems and applications, business owners, contractors, and other vendors are also required to ensure 508 compliance. Software developers and vendors should acknowledge their awareness of Section 508 standards through the Voluntary Product Accessibility Template, or VPAT. For more general information on the web, go to cms.gov. Under the Research, Statistics, Data, and Systems header, look for CMS Information Technology, then go to Section 508. For a list of the current Section 508 clearance officers throughout the agency, go to the same section of cms.gov under Section 508 and click Section 508 Clearance Officers. For education and training needs, email the CMS Section 508 Education and Training Resource Team at 508education@cms.hhs.gov. For other questions, email the CMS Section 508 Program Team at section_508@cms.hhs.gov. And we encourage you to view other videos in this CMS Section 508 videocast series for specific topics of interest.